All right, let's jump right in. Today we're talking about something super important for any global company, the L1 visa. We're going to break down exactly what it is, who can get one, and how the whole process works. Let's do this. So, let me paint a picture for you. Your company's crushing it, right? But you've got this incredible manager over in your Berlin office, or maybe a technical wizard in Tokyo, and you need them here, in the US office, yesterday. The big question is, what's the best way to make that happen, smoothly and efficiently? Well, this is exactly where the L1 visa comes into play. You can honestly think of it as the strategic key that's been custom-made for this exact situation. It's all about moving your top-tier, established talent from your international offices right into your U.S. operations.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. What is this thing really? And more importantly, why do so many big companies consider it an absolutely essential tool in their playbook?
So in simple terms, the L1 is an intra-company transferee visa. Fancy name, but all it means is that a U.S. company can transfer an employee from one of its related foreign offices. And that's the magic word right there, related. You have to have a qualifying relationship. We're talking parent companies, subsidiaries, branches, that kind of thing.
Okay, so why all the buzz around the L1? Well, a few huge reasons. First, and this is a big one, there's no annual cap or crazy lottery system like you see with the H-1B visa. That's a game changer right there. It also allows for dual intent, meaning the person can apply for a green card while they're on this supposedly temporary visa. And wait, there's more. Spouses can work, which is incredible for families. And for managers, it can be a super direct path to a green card. These are seriously powerful perks.
Now, it's really important to know that the L1 isn't just one single thing. It's actually split into two different paths. You've got one for managers and another for specialists. So the question you have to ask is, are you bringing over a leader or are you bringing over an expert with unique skills?
And here's a great breakdown of those two paths. You've got the L1A. That's for your executives and managers. They get to stay for up to 7 years. Then there's the L1B. This one is for employees with specialized knowledge. You know, people who know your company's unique products or secret sauce, inside and out. They can stay for up to 5 years. Getting this choice right from the start is absolutely critical.
All right, so you figured out which path makes sense, L1A or L1B. So what's next? Well, now we have to talk about eligibility. Who actually qualifies? Because the rules here are super specific for both the person and the company.
First up, the employee. This is a big one. They must have worked for your company abroad for at least one continuous year within the last 3 years. I'm going to say that again, one continuous year. It's a hard and fast rule, no getting around it. And of course, they have to be coming to the US to do a similar job, whether that's managing people or using those very specific skills.
And what about the company side of things? Well, like we touched on before, you've got to prove that qualifying relationship. It's not enough for the two companies to just be buddies or partners. They have to be legally and structurally connected. Think of it like a family tree. It has to be a parent company, a branch, a subsidiary, or an affiliate.
Okay, deep breaths. You've checked the boxes for eligibility. Awesome. Now, let's talk about the actual application journey. I know it can look a little intimidating, but we can really just break it down into a few straightforward steps.
So here's how it goes, in 4 basic steps. First, the U.S. employer kicks things off by filing a petition, specifically Form I-129. After USCIS gives that a thumbs up, the employee takes over. They'll apply at a U.S. consulate abroad, which includes an interview. Once they pass that, they're good to go. They can enter the U.S. and officially begin their L1 status.
Now, here's a little insider tip, especially for bigger companies. There's this thing called a blanket petition. Basically, you get your company pre-approved for L1 transfers. This means you don't have to start from scratch with a massive petition for every single employee you want to bring over. It is a huge time saver and makes individual transfers so much faster.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is where we master the details. We're going to talk about some really important time limits, what this means for families, and some of the common roadblocks you'll want to watch out for.
Okay, first number to remember, 7. 7 years. That's the absolute max that an L1A executive or manager can stay in the U.S. using this visa.
And the next number, 5. 5 years is the limit for an L1B employee, the specialized knowledge folks. And for both types, once you hit that ceiling, you have to leave the U.S. for at least a full year before you can even think about getting another L1.
And our last magic number, 60. That's 60 days. This is the grace period an L1 holder gets if their employment ends. It's a crucial window of time that lets them either pack up and leave
Or, and this is really important, apply to change their status to a different visa without having to leave the country.
And what about the family? This is honestly one of the best parts of the L1. The employee's spouse and any unmarried kids under 21 can come along on what's called an L2 visa. And get this, the spouse can apply for a work permit and work for any employer they want, and the kids can go to school. This makes the entire move so much easier and more manageable for the whole family.
Okay, let's be real. It's not always a walk in the park. There are definitely some challenges. The biggest one, by far, is with the L1B visa. You have to prove that the employee's knowledge is truly specialized. It's not enough to say they're a great engineer. You have to prove they have deep knowledge of your company's specific proprietary systems. It's a high bar. You'll also need bulletproof paperwork to prove the company relationship, and a super solid business plan if you're using this visa to open a brand new U.S. office.
So to put all this in perspective, how does the L1 really stack up against other common work visas? This chart makes it super clear. Just look at that first column, no annual cap. That right there is a massive win over the H-1B and its lottery nightmare. But then, if you compare it to the E-2 visa, the L1 has that awesome dual intent feature we talked about, which really solidifies it as a strong bridge to getting a green card.
So that brings us right back to where we started. When you look at its flexibility, that direct path to a green card for managers, and especially the fact that there's no annual lottery, the L1 is, without a doubt, a uniquely powerful tool. The trick, of course, is really understanding the rules and picking the right path, A or B, for your key people. So I'll leave you with this. Is the L1 the key your company has been looking for to truly unlock its global potential?